Hi guys, I'm back. It's been a good minute. I've been sick, and I was house hitting. So welcome back to the Oliver Sports Podcast. My name is Gogo, and I just got done watching Washington Capitals versus Carolina Hurricanes, and keep in mind I forgot about the game, so I started watching at the third period because I've been following the Alex Ovechkin goal count. He's getting closer to passing Wayne Gretzky, and he's three goals away. But man, I there was so much fights in that game. It was crazy. But hockey's entertaining like that, so I can't wait for the playoffs. But I was also watching the Kings. Man, that's just terrible. They took a freaking L where they cannot take L's, especially when they're in the playing tournament. So that's disappointing. But I got some NFL stuff, some UFC, boxing, and some NBA stuff I wanted to hit on. So apparently, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, Aaron Rodgers was throwing the ball to DK Metcalf in UCLA. So maybe he's leaning that way, going to play for the Steelers. I did see Art Rooney II was complaining that it's taking a little bit longer than he expected, but it's moving in a positive direction. So hopefully Rodgers can finally make up his freaking mind and join the team, or he's probably gonna be on his couch somewhere, I guess. T. Higgins. So I think it was like 2 weeks. T. Higgins signed his contract. And at first, I looked at it and I thought it was a lot of money. And once you start breaking down his contract, this dude got hosed. He fired his agent and he switched his agent to Jamar Chase, which if I don't know why T would sign this contract. He's worth a lot more money and he damn near outperforms one of the pretty much outperforms any top wide receiver, occasionally. But that was very disappointing. Your boy Jamar that recommended that agent, you should fire him, bro. Should have never signed that contract. You would have probably gotten at least close to 30 million what DK Metcalf got for the Steelers for another team. I think the Patriots would have given you 30 million. The Raiders could have given you 30 million. I mean, come on, man. That's terrible. And then on the Pat McAfee show today, Trey Hendrickson came on. He sounded very disappointed with the Bengals on their situation. There hasn't been any progress money wise, so I'm not surprised. They paid Jamar Chase, and they do owe money to Joe Burrow, so there's probably not going to be any money coming for him. But like I said, if that's the case, you might as well trade him, and another team can sign him and keep on. You gain that draft capital, and you say goodbye to a good player. Stephon Diggs signed with the Patriots. I think he's making 26 million a year, and he's coming off an ACL injury. That's crazy. He didn't really do much with the Texans, obviously, because he got hurt. But even before that, it was a little bit slow for him. So pay him 26 million a year. That's a lot of money for a guy coming off an ACL injury. It's kind of crazy, but the Patriots did open up with the most money in the salary cap, so I mean, you don't necessarily have to spend all that money because it does roll over for next season. So kind of crazy to see that they're going all in and saying, well, we're just going to spend everything and then we'll deal with it later. Kirk Cousins. I've been seeing a lot of reports saying Kirk Cousins is being shopped to the Browns. I guess the Falcons are interested in moving Kirk, or they're not really interested. So, be interesting because I do have a quarterback in mind that can go to Cleveland. So I'm interested in to see if that actually happens. But we'll see. And then this couple days ago, the NFL had its annual meetings, and some rules did pass. So kickoff. If the football touches the touchback, it automatically goes up to the 35-yard line. So teams are gonna be thinking twice about kicking the ball to the end zone Because if you kick it to the end zone, you're going to get it to 35 and you pick up 2 first downs, you're already in field goal range. So I think teams are going to be really hesitant about getting that touchback. So that's good on the NFL. I get what they're doing. They want the kickoff returns to be more part of the game because lately we've just been seeing touchbacks after touchbacks after touchbacks, and we're not seeing anybody return besides Turpin for the Cowboys, which we all saw Bill Belichick losing his damn mind after he kept getting the ball and he would return a touchdown. Another rule that passed was both on overtime. So, in playoffs, overtime, both teams get possess the ball. Now the NFL changed it that regular season also gets the same overtime rules as the playoffs. So both teams now will both possess the ball in overtime. So no one can cry a river and say, well, I didn't get the ball, or everybody gets the damn ball now. So finally, it should have been done a long time ago, but the NFL moves like a ship. The other one is replay assist. We did see replay assist last season, change some rules. So this year they expanded it. There's only one place they didn't expand. I don't know why, but I can see why. So replay assist will help with face mask, horse collar, and running into the kicker or roughing into the kicker. The only one that doesn't say here is roughing the passer, which is kind of stupid because we've been dealing with these bogus calls where somebody like Patrick Mahomes gets hit and it's automatically roughing the passer. And then you look at it and you're like, bro, that's not roughing the passer. So hopefully next season, because I don't think the NFL will do it, next season they'll pass that roughing the passer like, hey, we can get that stopped. So, all right, let's see. Oh, tush push. Tush push was getting a lot of momentum to be banned from the NFL. I guess a lot of teams, 16 teams are in favor of banning the tush push. Come on, man, it's stupid. And you see all these teams saying, oh, it's a rugby play and all this crap, it's unsafe. But the only reason they're saying that is because they can't stop the play. And they can't replicate it. Which, hey, the Philadelphia Eagles figured it out. Pretty positive you can do it too. So, come on, stop throwing a hissy fit. And I think it will get banned, unfortunately. I think they have another owners meeting in May. So most likely, since they have 16 teams, I think you need 26 teams to come to an agreement to say, hey, let's ban this. And that sucks for the Eagles. Like, come on, man. Anyways, Jimmy Haslam. If you guys don't know who Jimmy Haslam is, he's the Browns owner. And this guy decided to trade for Deshaun Watson and pay him up guaranteed money. So he basically said, Deshaun Watson, we took a big swing and a miss. We thought we had our quarterback. We didn't. So hold us accountable. This is where I have an issue. The word we. Brother, you're the one that decided to pick him the first player to have guaranteed money. You're the one that wanted all this. If it was a we, you would have fired Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski. Like, they would have been gone. There is no we. This is your screw up. But with that being said, I'm glad you came to the table and admitted it, but there's no we. It's you, brother. It's you. Straight up you. Like, you dumb screwed up. Yeah, so hopefully the Browns haven't drafted well on quarterback. Like, if you look at the record of quarterbacks they have drafted, so I know they acquired Kenny Pickett, but you can't tell me you're going to go far with Kenny Pickett, so we'll leave it at that. 49ers. Apparently 49ers are closing in on giving Brock Purdy an extension. So this one is interesting because a lot of people are saying that he's not going to make top dollar or he is going to make top dollar, so nobody knows where the number's at. But good on Brock Purdy, especially be drafted as Mr. Irrelevant, and now he's probably going to get his bag. So good for him, well deserved. Next one, Cowboys. Apparently, Mr. Jerry Jones offered Micah Parsons a contract behind Micah's agent, who is David Mulugeta. And David Mulugeta is one of those agents that he'll get you your money. He's the one that negotiated for Deshaun Watson. So this became a big thing where Micah said, well, just I'm not going to sign anything without my agent. So you can throw whatever number you want. I think Jerry Jones is trying to be clever and saying, oh, I can just go directly to a player and then I can figure it out. We can come to an agreement. But Jerry, it's not going to work, brother. Like, I'm sorry. It's not going to work. David Mulugeta is going to give Micah his money, whether it's with the Cowboys or a different franchise. But Micah is going to make top dollar, which I said back 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago when Max Crosby got his deal. Like, this is the time where you need to go sign Micah so you don't have to deal with this. But now here you are trying to go sign Micah, but without his agent. Like, come on, man. That's not going to work. And then you try to flex your power like, I'm Jerry Jones. I can do whatever I want. And look, Micah turned you down. Also, the NFL will have 3 games on Christmas. 2 on Netflix and 1 on Amazon Prime, which I enjoyed the Netflix games. It was actually good. I enjoyed it. There was nothing wrong with it. There was no buffering like the Jake Paul and Mike Tyson fight. So that's good. And then Amazon does a good job too. And then some more NFL stuff. Mark Davis is letting Tom Brady run the show for the Raiders. So it's basically Tom, John Spytek, and Pete Carroll, which is good. Mark is not really a football guy. I'm glad he's doing that. Like, just let Tom run the show. Be interesting to see how long Tom does broadcasting, where he just might become full time. Like, let me just run this operation, so I don't have to run it behind closed doors and then go broadcast. So good on Tom, well deserved. Hopefully you do good. It's not easy, I'll tell you that. We're officially 22 days from the NFL draft. I like the NFL draft. Well, I used to like it more as a kid, but as I've grown into know it more, you learn that the draft is a crapshoot, but it's still entertaining. And it'll be in Green Bay. Maybe one of these days I will go to the draft just to see the experience, feel everything, like how it goes. Maybe I can see the commish, call out the numbers. With that being said, I do have a mock draft. I do have 1 through 10. So let's get started. So with the number 1 pick, I have the Titans taking Cam Ward. With the number 2 pick, I have the Browns taking Shedeur Sanders. I know it's going to piss off a lot of people. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me you're going to run with Kenny Pickett as your quarterback when Watson's not going to play. So that's my thoughts on that. Number 3 pick, the Giants. I have them taking Ashton Jeanty. Now, last season we saw on HBO Max, the Giants were in Hard Knocks, and we saw John Mara being agitated and pissed off that Saquon Barkley's not going to be a part of the team, where Joe Shane was basically lying to him and saying, well, we saw him that he got a bigger offer with the Bears, and then that turned to be a bunch of crap, where I think Bill Belichick said that, oh, we already had intel that he was going to Eagles. So Joe Shane was lying through his skin. So I think to make that up, they're going to draft Ashton Jeanty. All right, let's move it on. Patriots, number 4. I have them taking Armand Membu. Now, I put an offensive lineman to the Patriots because last season, if you watched them, they couldn't block anybody to save their life. And they need to protect Drake May because you don't want Drake May on the freaking ground all the time. So Armand Membu is going to the Patriots. For the number 5th pick, the Jaguars, I have Abdul Carter going to the Jags. Good player. The Jags defense has been crap. So, good player. Number 6, and Carter is one of the best, according to experts. He is one of the best players in this draft class. Jumping on to number 6, the Raiders. I gave him Travis Hunter. Hell of a player, hell of a wide receiver. Great player. If he does go there, that would be awesome to see. Jets. I gave him Jalen Walker. Obviously, the Jets need also help. Well, they can use help on both sides of the ball, but their defense wasn't good last season either, so they get another stud. They get a good blue chip player. Panthers. I gave him Mason Graham. Good defensive tackle. Will solidify the Panthers' defensive line too, because the Panthers don't really have a good defense either. They do have a good DB back there, but defensive line not so much. With the number 9 pick, the Saints, I gave him Jackson Dart, and I feel like Jackson Dart would be good with Kellen Moore, and I know it seems like the front office, it's a little bit rocky with Derek. I know a lot of people might say Jackson Dart is a little bit too early, but with 2 quarterbacks already gone, like you become very desperate, and I could see the Saints pulling the trigger and saying, we're just going to take him, and Derek is going to be there for one more season. Unfortunately, Derek has been hurt, so maybe Jackson Dart will sit on the bench majority of the season and start from there. With the number 10 pick, the Bears selected Will Campbell. This will officially solidify the Bears' offensive line, because if you've seen the offseason for the Bears, they have been overhauling the offensive line to project. Oh my goodness. They're trying to protect this quarterback. Oh my gosh, I can't remember his name. Anyways, moving on. I'm sorry. I cannot freaking remember his name. I'm sorry. And then I was watching something today. Adam Schefter is saying that he doesn't believe the Browns or the Giants will take a quarterback, which is really, really interesting. So, I know it's lion season, but if that's the case, if let's say the Browns don't take a quarterback in the first round and the Giants don't take a quarterback in the first round, I'm interested in see if Shedeur would go to the Raiders at 6, but I think that might be too early for him. It all depends how the team feels about him. But there we go. Caleb Williams. The Bears have been overhauling the offensive line for Caleb Williams. I'm sorry, I completely blanked out Caleb. But back to the Adam Schefter thing. So if the Giants and Browns decide to pass on the quarterback and the Raiders somehow decide to trade back, to accumulate more picks and maybe take Shedeur at the end of the 20s, then I could see, them doing that. But I don't know if that's possible, because we know the Saints need a quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see that. But at the same time, I don't understand why the Browns wouldn't take a quarterback. You can't tell me you're gonna roll with Kenny Pickett and expect, unless you plan to run with Kenny Pickett and say we'll just throw the season, and hopefully next season we can get a top pick where we're selecting better quarterbacks, maybe like Archie Manning. Although I don't think Archie Manning would be allowed to go to Cleveland. I think his uncles would say hell no to you. So we'll see where that goes. UFC in Mexico City was freaking awesome. I enjoyed it so much. It was really, really good. It was a lot better than that freaking crappy card in London where it was just a snooze fest. So I'm glad that one turned out really good. Hopefully they keep making these, keep going to Mexico, which I think they will. They're trying to invest heavily into Mexico, gain more fans, and why wouldn't you? Boxing's on a decline, unfortunately. So yeah. Couple fights, Lazy Boy. Boy, you got exposed by Borjas, bro. You got clipped multiple times. Not only did you get exposed, you even missed weight, bro. Like, come on. That's your job. Like, come on. You got to show up and do better. And to be freaking at the end of the fight with your team you're celebrating and your team is all down. Like, come on, bro. You got to do better. You're a fighter, but at the same time, bro, you gotta show it like you care. Like, and he didn't freaking care. Like, it's just like, I lost, but we can still celebrate the L. Also, who was on the card was David Martinez. Made his UFC debut. He got a TKO over Simon Oliveira. Good freaking punch, bro. Just dropped this dude within, man. This like I said, this card was just freaking like, it was fast paced, like, so good for him. He got a performance of the night too. Good, nice bonus check for him. Raul Rojas, Mr. Chihuahuas guy, picks up another victory. He didn't seem very happy with his performance. I think the last two fights he's been saying the same thing. He hasn't been fighting well to his standards. But he's only 20, so hopefully he can, get better. And he has a long way to go, so don't put yourself down, kid. You got a long way to go. Another guy that got performance of the night was Edgar Chairez. He won by submission. Hell of a submission. That, like I said, this card was lightning fast, so these fighters were going down like freaking like flies. This was the next one was the co-main, Manuel Torres versus Drew Dubar. Also performance of the night. This dude connected with the right hand and dropped Drew, and he just started hammering fist Drew on the side of the head, and eventually the referee called the fight like, hey, that was it. And Drew got up all freaking confused, like he thought the fight was still going. And good for him. Good for Manuel Torres. Way to go. The main event, Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erskine. This was a good main event, better than freaking Leon versus Brady, which it was just, again, another snooze fest. These guys were both going back and forth. Brandon was good on striking. Erskine had his moments, but yeah. So good fight overall. With that, UFC did announce that UFC 320 will be in Guadalajara. Maybe I can go, maybe not, but I would love to go to UFC in Mexico. That would be freaking awesome. And then they also announced yesterday UFC 316, Merab versus Sean O'Malley. We'll see if the outcome is different. We know Merab likes to wrestle, and he did pretty much dominate Sean. And Sean has said on an interview that he hasn't been smoking pot, playing video games, all this crap. But hopefully something changes. Hopefully. At least that's what he's expecting. He said he hasn't felt this. He hasn't felt that way. He hasn't felt this way since 2022. So that's been a good minute. UFC and Meta. If you guys don't know, Meta is like basically Facebook. They're working on a ranking system. So I have a feeling this is gonna be all analytic based and all this crap. Hopefully it doesn't freaking throw these ranking system into a freaking crappy number system, but we'll see. We'll see how that works. Major League Baseball. So if you guys follow the Yankees, you have noticed they have not a new bat, because the bat has been out. It's called a torpedo bat, and pretty much the Yankees have been going freaking berserk and hitting home runs and doing a lot of damage. So, and a lot of Yankees are getting hated on because, they're Yankees. They're one of the biggest teams in Major League Baseball. So, and you have the small teams, or the national media, I should say, is complaining like, well, these small teams don't get, But apparently these torpedo bats have been certain players on certain teams do have torpedo bats. So I don't think. Hopefully, the torpedo bat doesn't get banned. But it looks like more teams are gonna invest in getting a torpedo bat to take advantage of the home runs. Maybe they should give some to the A's. That would be great. So, speaking of the A's, they used to play in Oakland. Now they're playing in West Sacramento, which I think is like 30 minutes away from my house. But when I tell you they got smoked, they got swept by the Cubs. Like I think the first game they lost 18 to something, and then I don't remember yesterday's game, but I know today they lost 10 to something. But man, they got freaking smoked. It's gonna be a long, long season for them. As it is, people from Oakland are hating on the A's for moving, and everyone hates the owner. They want him to sell the team, which is not looking like he wants to sell the team because he's shipping them to Las Vegas. And then the Giants. Giants have been playing good. They're 5-1. They swept the Astros. Good for them. I do not like the Astros, so more applause to the freaking Giants for winning. I can't stand the Astros ever since that whole cheating scandal is just, I can't stand them. Some NBA stuff. So, I don't know if you guys have been following Stephen A. and LeBron James' argument, or like their beef, where I do agree with LeBron, like, me having a son, I don't want anybody talking crap about my son, and so if it has to deal with like a sport, then you talk about the sport, but you don't have to go straight at him about it. As long as it has to do with the sport, like I'm good. But come on, man, you can't bash his son like that. And then with LeBron saying this boy, Stephen A. is on his tighty whities, eating ice cream and all this. So I'm glad. A lot of people don't like it. I like it. I think it's funny. So hopefully it keeps going. Last night Curry went off for 52 points. Good for him, man. Way to figure it out, especially with Jimmy Buckets. I didn't think it was going to work, so I'm glad it's working out. I was going to say the Kings are still alive, but I don't know if they're still alive because they lost to the freaking, Washington Wizards? Like, come on, man. You're one game ahead of Phoenix Suns, and I'll get to Phoenix Suns. One game away, it's just one game difference between the Phoenix Suns and the Kings. And man, the Kings have been seriously disappointing ever since they fired Mike Brown, and then Fox saying he wants nothing to do with the team. I want out. Ever since then, it's just been downhill. With that being said, jumping to the Phoenix Suns. My goodness, this team is embarrassing. You can't tell me with KD and oh my gosh, can't remember his name. What is his name? Sorry about this. Let's see. Devin Booker. You have Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, and now you guys are in the bottom of the barrel. Like, come on, man. You guys fired the coach last season, and you guys got him worse. That is sad. And before the trade deadline, I did see some stuff where the Warriors were trying to acquire KD, and then KD saying, "No, I don't want to go there." Blah blah blah. Brother, you should have gone there. I don't know if it's an ego thing. I have no idea, dude. You operate very weird. I get it, but bro, you went from winning a championship to freaking going down to the bottom of the barrel to talking crap about the Warriors, and then the Warriors winning a championship and you saying we're going to win championships here. Hasn't panned out. This is embarrassing. They're in a 4-game losing streak. Obviously, at the end of the season, the coach is probably going to get fired, probably appoint some new head coach, and then he's probably not going to have Kevin Durant because I don't think the Phoenix Suns will roll with Kevin Durant next season. I think they'll just have Devin Booker. I mean, what else can we say? It's been sad, man. Honestly, that's just there's so much money invested into that team, and you telling me you're freaking ranked. You're like ranked what 11? Let's see. Ranked 11. Like, come on, man. That's freaking sad. With all that talent, all that star power, and you can't. That's the NBA for you, and sometimes the NFL too, where you think you have all this talent, and talent doesn't mesh together, and it just doesn't work. Um, Speaking of the Curry game, with the Warriors, and last night, what they were playing. Let's see. Not the memo. Let's see. So yeah, yesterday the Warriors played the Grizzlies, and I did mention freaking Steph Curry going off for 52 points. Jimmy Buckets went for 27 points. Anyways, my freaking favorite player, not favorite, but Ja Morant, he went for 36 points. He made some gun gestures at the bench, and I guess think it was Draymond trying to get the refs' attention, he's making gun gestures. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's not a big deal, and this is only a big deal because he had a gun in his car, and it's not like he did anything illegal. And the NBA's anti. I get it. The NBA wants him to be the face of the league, but Ja Morant clearly doesn't want that. He just wants to be Ja Morant, and just fine the guy if you're going to fine him, but don't suspend him. I don't think you can suspend a guy for making gun gestures. Like, come on, don't be that soft. That's all the stuff I have for NBA. Boxing. So this past weekend, William Cepeda was fighting Cancun. That arena was actually pretty entertaining. Like, more fights should happen in Cancun. But William Cepeda, this fight he's been very disappointing. Barely could beat Farmer, and he was getting caught by some uppercuts. So with that being said, I know people have been saying, well, William Cepeda can beat Shakur Stevenson. No. Shakur Stevenson's gonna make this guy look like a freaking fool, where William Cepeda fighting out his shot output is like so freaking high, where I think Shakur would just freaking dumb him down, and Shakur is gonna expose this clown. I don't think he's that good. Everyone keeps hyping him, and I don't see it. So hopefully that fight gets made. I know Cepeda got hurt, and then that fight with Shakur was off, and then Shakur got hurt, and then that fight was off again. So hopefully everybody's healthy. We can make that fight. We can see freaking Shakur Stevenson beat this dude and send his ass back packing. PBC and Top Rank are planning to do some fight cards together. This one's interesting only because Uncle Turkey is making all these banger fights and all this stuff, and he's investing heavily. And now PBC and Top Rank, they want to mesh together, attract viewers. But let's be real, PBC, ever since they jumped to Amazon, hasn't really done a lot of fights. Top Rank, same thing. ESPN is pretty much telling them that's it. That's our end of our deal. So it's interesting to see these guys work together, even though you see Bob Arum talking a bunch of garbage to Al Heyman, and now they have to suddenly mesh because, like I said earlier, boxing is going downhill. So they're trying to salvage what they can, but I don't I don't think it's gonna work. These guys rarely work out, and it's just I think they're all gonna end up with Uncle Turkey, eventually, because it's just been a lot of crap. What the, especially with I think the last fight for PBC was oh my goodness, who was the last fight for PBC? Let's look it up. I think the last. Oh yeah, the last fight was Tank Davis versus Armand Roach. That's the last fight. Um, they haven't been really doing much. I don't understand like how Amazon is okay with this. Like it sucks. Well, as a fan, it sucks for me, but I don't understand how Amazon can be happy. And we've seen ESPN clearly say we're not doing top ranked boxing anymore, and I can also see that too because Top Rank doesn't really. They have fights, but it's not really like really good fights. Like there's not really top fight. Well, Shakur Stevenson was with Top Rank, and then he would join Matchroom, and But other than that, it hasn't been much there. So I did hit on the Wayne Gretzky thing. On Alex Ovechkin, only 3 goals away. Good for him, man. 809. He has 892 goals, and that is crazy. That is really crazy. Good for him, man. That's a lot of freaking goals. We do have some boxing matches and a UFC match. Josh Emmett versus Murphy. If you've seen Josh Emmett fight, he comes to fight. He doesn't play around. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I can upload another video during the week. I'm getting better. I'm feeling better, somewhat better. But hopefully there will be more news and I can come back on, give you more another video. So thank you for guys watching. Like, subscribe. God bless you all. Love you all. Take care.